What you are about to see is real. All video and audio was captured in an actual paranormal investigation. Nothing has been manufactured or staged. On this episode of Local Haunts, the team answers another paranormal house call. We head back to St. Augustine to help a new homeowner clear their space of the lingering spirit of the previous owner. His suicide left his unsettled spirit to dwell in the home that once was his. But the new owner wants him to move on. So Pamela Theresa is here to do just that, and will capture evidence of his haunting in the process. Will we be successful in helping the lost soul move on and transition? And leave the home clear and peaceful? Find out as we explore Local Haunts. Hello and welcome to Local Haunts. I'm your host, Steve Christian. Joining me as usual is my other half, Pamela Theresa, medium in the raw, along with the spooky crew, Savannah Hovingham and Kevin Remington. And the Paranormal House Call begins right now. As soon as we entered the space, Pamela made a beeline for the master bedroom, and right away we caught an incredible EVP, or electronic voice phenomena. The voice of the deceased former owner was caught by our cameras, and it validates that Pamela hears spirit.
And she ran off?
Yep, she didn't argue in that.
OFT.
I can feel a little light in the head. Hey, dude, man.
Okay. Am I the only one that had the ringing in the ears when you first came in here?
No.
Okay.
Residual from what happened, probably?
From before what happened.
Okay.
But yeah. So I know it was a gunshot. And when I first walked in, I heard the big bang.
That's not a theory.
Right. And right, is that correct? We promise you don't want to be in the show, right?
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Gil Blondie, correct?
Correct.
But I'm definitely, I definitely have stomach issues and I had health issues too as far as right before the passing. Does that make sense, Blondie?
Yes.
So.
Okay, so we had an illness anyway, so he's talking about that. So we're working to get a validation of our visitor here, who is unnamed, and who does know somewhat of the situation. I come into this really not knowing much of anything, so.
Well, what happened was she brought you up to the doorstep of this condo.
Well, yeah. What had happened was, I came for session, and from the moment I stepped out of the car, I felt really weird, really off, like out of body.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I started doing my little systems checks. It was a serious out of body experience. And I felt really off. And then I knocked on the door and she came out and said, well, hey, I want to show you something. Mm-hmm. And even walking over here, I was like, okay, get back in your body, because I was going to have to step into session, right? I'm like, oh my God. And Mr. Blondie over there he just about tripped up the stairs. Well, honestly, when I came up the stairs the first time, I was like literally trying not to fall up the stairs. And so we're just empathically linked to the gentleman here and some of the things he was experiencing.
Who we'll formerly call Dude Man.
The gentleman, actually, who, well, so we get up to the top of the stairs, and Blondie.
She says, "What's going on in here?" And you said, "We have a death in here, don't we?"
Yeah,
said,
like somebody died in here.
And she said, "Yeah." And he said, "It's a
Head
suicide head wound."
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah."
Gunshot.
And I think you even said it was in March, or you said the date that it...
Well, March is a relevant date here. Don't know exactly where the relevance is on that.
But this was all from outside the front door. This
Right.
was without even coming in. You knew about the suicide in here, just being outside the building. So
We'll just have a vocal confirmation from Blondie.
Yes.
okay. Now he's still here, which is
Yes,
rare.
it is.
Which
It
rare
is.
for
It's really
suicide.
interesting. And I was just, and so once I came up here and I kind of knew what was going on, and I was able to kind of settle down and go into session, because, you know, it's nice to get the validation, the awareness of what the heckaroo is going on with my body. And so I was able to just kind of like move on. But it wasn't until we got in the car where you actually made mention, well, that's really rare. Typically suicides go right home. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, you're right, but everybody's different. So
Maybe because he was not in his right mind when it happened.
unfinished, there's a whole host of reasons why. Unfortunately, what we're going to really draw upon here on this investigation is hopefully EVP evidence, visual with cameras, visual with cameras, visual with cameras, visual with cameras.
Go with the K2, you think?
Possibly in a minute, yeah. Here, you know, so we're gonna have to kind of rely a little bit on our equipment to validate that.
Coming up on Local Haunts.
He's coming in and out of the bathroom, by the way.
Oh, has he moved?
No, he's still kind of in there.
Oh, he's kind of going through the wall?
Yeah.
It's definitely right there. You can feel the tingle.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he did it on the bed? Because the mattress is missing?
I'm facing over here, but actually I'm pacing a lot right before, in my mind at least, though he had some serious health issues. So I think that he was actually in and out of his body an awful lot, which is why I was having that experience here. So I think for him, it was basically kind of like a dream state anyway. I got real sick to my stomach, and even coming up here again, I feel really sick to my stomach, like to have some definite chest and stomach issues, you know, due to the illnesses here. Does that make sense for you, Blondie?
Yes.
Okay. So empathically, that's what's going on here. We have a severe illness, which would you know if it was terminal, Blondie?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Well, one can only assume.
Would you know if it was terminal, Blondie?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Well, one can only assume.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Well, one can only assume.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Well, one can only assume that he...
Well, ultimately, he's laughing over here going, yeah, of course it was.
that he...
Well, ultimately, he's...
that he...
Well, ultimately, he's...
that he...
Well, ultimately, he's one way or another it is. But you notice that even though the AC is not really kicked, it's denser, it's hotter in here.
Yeah, it's very warm in here.
And then also too, the ringing of the ears. And by the way, it was really dark back in here, and I knew immediately to come back in here. And by the way, it was really dark back in here, and I knew immediately. And by the way, it was really dark back in here, and I knew immediately. And by the way, it was really dark back in here, and I knew immediately.
So
This is the room, correct, Blondie?
Correct.
Okay. So what we're going to do here, our mission and purpose, is to help him on his way. It's so weird because there shouldn't have been a dog here, but where's the dog? Do you all know about the dog?
I don't know anything about a dog.
Okay, it might be connected to the relatives here. It's really interesting because I'll start getting information here that, like I said, will maybe be validated up through EVPs and other cameras pick up too as well.
Now, he's aware that he has crossed on, right?
Well, actually, he's a little bit confused at first as to what the hell is going on right now when we stepped in.
By the way,
So,
sir, I'm Steve. This is Pamela. That's Kevin. That's Savannah. We're just here to talk.
Mr. and Mrs. Blondie.
Mr. and Mrs. Blondie, the new owner. We're just here to talk to you and to help you, actually. We don't want you to be stuck here.
So,
Sure, that's a choice word.
he is,
You're stuck here, it's my house, what the hell? Is he in the closet?
light. He's moving. Oh, here you are. Okay. You can feel right over there. You going?
Yeah. Got a tripping hazard here with this one. So it's a higher than you think it is.
Stay in there. He's coming in and out of the bathroom, by the way.
Oh, has he moved?
No, he's still kind of in there.
Oh, he's kind of going through the wall?
Yeah.
It's definitely right there, you can feel the tingle.
Yeah. But it's weird because I definitely, there's, like, got punched in the nose here. Was it a couple of days before anybody?
Yes.
Okay, so,
Nobody heard the shot?
We don't know because I came home and there were police here and caution tape.
Mm-hmm.
And there were about 6 police cars and we didn't know what actually happened until days after. And it
Okay.
never made the newspaper.
Right.
No, a lot of suicides don't.
Kept on the hush-hush.
yeah, out of respect for family, which is why people will not know this location.
All this carpet here is new. It's all brand new carpet,
The whole room?
the whole room.
There is definitely something going on with his sinuses too right before as well. So, well, it kind of got lodged right in here. Have you noticed when you walk up in here, you feel like you're kind of punched in the nose a little bit?
No, I'm not
And
that.
just to validate me, when we pulled up, I knew he was looking out that
In this
window.
window, yeah, me too. Even before you said anything, I was like, there he is! He followed you, by the way. So he's now standing next to...
Because it was so dark in that corner, it was black. And then when you moved, it got lighter in that corner.
Coming up on Local Haunts.
No, he is starting to feel a little bit of remorse. He's starting to realize, what's going on here.
That's called universal sight.
Right.
You're going to see and hear a lot of things. This is not going to hurt you. This is just, it's called a K2 meter, and it keys on electromagnetic energy. And it's just a way that we can interact with you. You can make it light up.
So I have to school on kind of things that will happen. And even though we transitions, and this is something that actually happened, like not now, but there might be times where you'll have that vision of, and that feeling of that happening. And it'll be kind of weird because it'll be like you won't even be thinking about it out of nowhere. And that's just imprint in time. And it just is what it is. And so sometimes if you feel that, so if y'all are up here having a really nice evening and in the living room and all of a sudden it's funny, but if all of a sudden you start like being a little bit short with one another and just like out of nowhere, just understand it's an imprint in the energies that somehow or another you're linked to, and just kind of pull back and just say, okay, yeah, that's what it is. And I tell people all the time, prayer is the most powerful tool. And I'm going to give you an example of this because I went there one time, this place where, anyway, and I went into the bathroom, and when I walked in, I was like, oh my God.
I remember that.
Totally was like being raped. It was really crazy. It was like it happened, right? And I'm thinking, where's that earthbound person or whatever? I couldn't find anybody, so I just like cleansed this place, space, asked for the cleansing to be in the space. Prayer is the most powerful tool, and cleaned it up. And well, about 6 months later, I went back there. I had totally forgotten about it. I went back into the bathroom again, and the same damn thing happened. I was like, wait a minute, why is this going on? And then I was educated the spirit world said, because she's still here in the physical. It did happen to her in the space. She thinks about it, so when she thinks about it, she brings the energy back here. Well, even though he's not in the physical, and so it's an energy imprint, right? Even though he's not in the physical, he still has people who are still here in the physical, and they'll think about it. So sometimes it'll bring the energy back. And so whenever you feel a little bit uncomfortable, and you might think, oh God, am I obsessing over this? What am I getting creeped out, whatnot? It's not you. Just kind of be like, okay, yeah, control, alt, delete, okay. And like I tell people all the time, the tool that I use is prayer, and I ask for a healing on the space, and call in the angel masters and guides. Not that they're not there, and they don't need me to help them and whatever, but I do ask for that extra power too, because this is now your space, your physical space. And so the neat thing is, the more really good memories that you have here in this space, it will actually act to cleanse the space.
Okay.
Because this is a very traumatic experience, and people just don't wake up one day and put a bullet in their head. It leads up to, I mean, really, they just don't. So there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of feelings of betrayal here. Does that make sense for what we know?
We know very
I never
little.
even saw the man.
Okay, well, we'll validate it somehow or another through like the EVP or whatnot, but this is just what he's telling me here too as well. Okay, so
Did he have a sense that if he passed, no one would care?
Actually, he was kind of vengeful. He was like, boy, I'm going to show them.
It was kind of one of those deals.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why he's like, there was some anger here. Because take a look at what we have here, actually, and the style of this. And if you really look at what he has here, what they have left over here, this is not the space of a person fixing to actually say la vie.
Everything here is brand new.
That's what he's saying. He's
Within the
like,
last 3 years.
okay,
Yeah.
right. So so that's a validation up for that, because it wasn't, but something went down in his life that really was a trigger. He's telling me he was quite ill, not feeling well at all, and he was saying feeling betrayed, feeling abandoned. And it was more in that way of, and I'll show them, they're gonna miss me when I'm gone. It was more of like a vengeful sort of thing, and I'm just telling you what he's saying here. Now, if you notice that you're off balance an awful lot too as well,
Yeah.
that's him.
Is there a Randy or a Randall involved?
Well, I got a Robert too as well.
It was
Oh,
Laura.
So,
I don't, those names aren't familiar to me.
but we're gonna kick him out anyway, because don't know what the name came out when I was standing in the front porch, because I don't remember reads and such like that, but that was definitely, so it might be connected to something, I don't know.
It might be his family member.
Could be, but we'll be careful on the name. So if you find yourself a little bit off balance,
Is he understanding what's going on right now? What we're doing?
he's kind of been watching what a lot of activity has taken place here. And so,
Well, they had to do a lot of cleanup.
yeah, so I mean, he's kind of been, but still like an out of body sort of dream thing. It's weird. So I think that's why he's still kind of here, because it was not done in the daylight.
Can
So-
we help him to?
Well, that's what we're working on here. So we're telling the story here, and that's the whole point. Is we're getting him going. I'm going like a freight train. He's going to be transitioning, going home.
And I don't know what your belief system was, sir, but you're not going to hell.
Welcome to hell. You're in it.
You're in
Yay,
it.
we're all
You're in it
With
now.
us.
So yeah, we're trying to get you to go to heaven.
Let's go ahead and see if we can get an EVP session here too. I would love to go to the living room here if you are up for that. He does roam the place too, but he really quickly came back in here when we stepped in. So,
We
you're,
lead him out?
huh?
Want to lead him out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You followed me up before?
Yep.
Next time on Local Haunts.
He is starting to feel a little bit of remorse. He's starting to realize, what's going on here.
That's called universal sight.
Right.
You're going to see and hear a lot of things.